There's a truth deep within you, something you've always known on a soul level, even if the world around you hasn't recognized it yet. You've felt it, that deep, unshakable knowing. It's that fire that refuses to be extinguished, even in the hardest of times. You've known on some level that you are not like everyone else, and while the world around you may have tried to convince you otherwise, that the inner flame is your connection to something far greater. You are not just a human being. You're a divine presence, a fragment of God itself experiencing life in human form. This is the first and most profound realization of your spiritual journey. You are not merely human. You are a God wrapped in flesh, walking this earth with a purpose greater than you can imagine. Today we explore what it truly means to understand this divine truth, to awaken to who you really are, and to embody the limitless power that resides within you. For so long you've felt different, haven't you? Deep down, something has always told you that the world's rules didn't fully apply to you. You've always felt like you didn't truly belong in the places where others are content. The conversations that excite them bore you. The paths they eagerly follow seem meaningless to you. This feeling isn't by chance. It's because you are not like everyone else. You were never meant to blend in. The world has worked tirelessly to convince you this feeling is wrong. From early childhood, society's conditioning mechanisms have pushed you toward conformity, teaching you to silence your inner knowing, to doubt your intuition, and to measure your worth by how well you fit into pre-established patterns. This programming runs deep, creating an artificial identity that stands in opposition to your true cosmic nature. This internal conflict between what society demands and what your soul knows creates profound suffering. You sense something essential is missing, but can't quite identify what it is. You reach for external solutions, relationships, achievements, or possessions to fill this void, yet the emptiness persists. Because what you're truly missing isn't something you can acquire. It's the remembrance of who you already are. The forgetting serves a purpose. Just as darkness gives meaning to light, this divine amnesia creates the perfect conditions for remembering. Each time you question your place in the world, each moment, you feel that disconnect between your human experience and something greater calling to you. You're experiencing the first stirrings of cosmic remembrance. The liberation comes when you recognize that your feeling of displacement isn't something to fix or overcome. It's actually confirmation of your divine nature. The discomfort you feel in this world is similar to how a fish might feel if temporarily placed on land. It's not your natural state. You're not human. You're a cosmic being experiencing temporary amnesia about your true divine nature. This understanding changes everything. The challenges that once seemed like punishments transform into a carefully designed curriculum for your spiritual evolution. The relationships that trigger your deepest wounds become sacred teachers guiding you back to wholeness. The persistent longing for something more becomes recognized as your divine self calling you home. To understand who you truly are, we must first confront the truth that has always been hidden from you, the truth of your origin. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, "Let us make man in our image, in our likeness." What does this mean? It means you are not merely flesh and blood. You are spirit first. You are not bound to this world. Your physical form is temporary. It is but a vessel for the eternal soul that resides within you. Your true nature is not of this world. Your essence is divine, immortal, and limitless. The moment you recognize this truth, you start to understand that you were never meant to live within the boundaries of human limitations. When God said, Let us make man in our image. He wasn't just talking about physical appearance. He was speaking about your divine essence, the part of you that is made in the likeness of the Creator. You carry the divine within you. This is why your spirit longs for something beyond this life. It is because you were never meant to be confined to the limitations of the world you currently inhabit. This recognition of your divine nature explains why you feel like an outsider. You don't think like others, you don't feel the same way they do, and you don't align with the systems that govern this world. Why? Because you are not like everyone else. You were not made to fit in. You are an expression of God, a part of the universal consciousness experiencing life through the lens of human form. But as you awaken to your true nature, you transcend the limits of simply being human. Let me tell you the secret that has been kept from you for so long. You are not 100% human. Yes, this may shake you, but the truth has always been inside you waiting to be unlocked. Your spirit is not of this realm. You are a divine being, carrying a spark of the Creator inside you. Your DNA, your energy, your very essence carries something far beyond human comprehension. This realization is the foundation of your spiritual awakening. The world has tried to convince you that you are ordinary and that you must conform to its rules and expectations. But in reality, you were always meant to be extraordinary. You are a divine creation, a God particle experiencing the human experience. Your soul is beyond the physical. It is eternal, limitless, and part of the universal fabric that connects all of existence. You were never meant to shrink yourself to fit into the boxes that the world creates. You were meant to rise above. You are not bound by the limitations of time or space. You are a soul of infinite potential, a being of light and love, temporarily residing in human form to experience and transform the world. That sacred initiation you're experiencing isn't just reshaping your personal reality. It's altering the very fabric of collective human consciousness. Scientists like Rupert Sheldrake have discovered that when one person awakens to truth, it mysteriously becomes easier for others to access that same realization. This phenomenon, known as morphic resonance, suggests that your spiritual breakthroughs serve humanity in ways invisible to the ordinary mind. Your individual journey of remembrance isn't happening in isolation. It's a critical thread in the cosmic tapestry of human evolution. The illusion of separation has convinced us that our spiritual growth is a private affair, disconnected from the collective. This perspective is as limited as believing that a single wave rises independently from the ocean. In reality, your consciousness is profoundly entangled with the entire field of human awareness. When you experience a moment of expanded consciousness, you're not simply changing your personal reality, you're sending ripples through the collective consciousness that touches countless lives. Throughout history, civilizations have moved through distinct cycles of consciousness evolution. Ancient wisdom traditions recognized that certain eras bring accelerated spiritual growth, often coinciding with societal transformation. What makes our current moment extraordinary is that we appear to be in a crucial phase of this evolution, a time when more individuals are awakening to their divine nature than ever before. This isn't coincidental, but rather part of a cosmic orchestration designed for humanity's collective evolution. Let's explore how science is gradually aligning with the ancient wisdom that has been passed down through the ages. For millennia, mystics have known that everything is energy, and modern quantum physics is beginning to reveal this truth. Your thoughts, beliefs, and essence are not separate from the universe. They are woven into the very fabric of existence itself. Take, for example, the famous double-slit experiment in quantum physics. This groundbreaking discovery demonstrates that particles behave differently when observed. When a particle is watched, it becomes fixed in space, but when it's not observed, it exists as a wave of endless possibilities. This phenomenon reveals that consciousness is integral to shaping reality. Just like those particles, you are not bound by the limitations of the physical world. You are part of a greater whole, an observer of the universe shaping the world around you with every thought, belief, and intention. The power of your consciousness is immense. When you recognize this truth, the universe no longer seems mysterious or out of reach. Instead, you realize that you are the law. The universe moves through you, and your intentions become the forces that create your world. As you awaken to the profound realization that consciousness itself molds the reality you experience, you start to tap into your divine potential, unlocking a limitless well of power within you. This deep longing for connection and meaning is not just an emotional need, it's a reflection of your true nature. What if the separation between you and the universe, which so many have believed in, is simply an illusion? The concept of the zero-point field in quantum physics challenges our conventional understanding of reality. It's not empty space, it's filled with a field of energy that permeates all existence. This discovery isn't just an abstract idea, it's a scientifically measurable phenomenon, and it aligns perfectly with what ancient spiritual traditions have long taught. All of reality is interconnected, and the field of energy that we perceive as empty space is the very substrate of everything. For centuries, we have been taught to see ourselves as isolated entities, separate from the vast universe. This perspective has created a sense of alienation, making us feel like fragile beings lost in an indifferent cosmos. We've believed ourselves to be isolated individuals, desperately seeking connection with something out there. But quantum physics unveils a different reality, one where our connection to the universe is not something external, but inherent in the very structure of existence. The phenomenon of quantum entanglement, for example, shows that particles can remain instantaneously connected across vast distances. This defies conventional notions of space and time, suggesting that there is no real separation between us and the universe. Beyond even this, the zero-point field reveals that the fabric of reality is a seamless web of energy, constantly interacting and flowing. This understanding invites us to see ourselves not as isolated beings, but as localized expressions of universal consciousness. While we may appear as individuals, we are in truth manifestations of the whole. Think of it as the ocean and its waves. The ocean creates countless waves, each distinct in its form. Yet no wave is separate from the ocean. Every wave is made of the same water that constitutes the entire ocean. In the same way, your consciousness is an expression of universal consciousness. You appear separate, but in reality, you are part of the same vast, interconnected whole. The boundaries that we perceive between ourselves and the universe are temporary and illusory. This is not just a philosophical idea. It's a transformative truth that can change the way we experience life. The ancient teachings of Advaita Vedanta, for example, have always pointed to this truth, that we are not merely connected to universal consciousness, but that we are that consciousness, experiencing itself through our unique perspectives. This shift in understanding dissolves the distinction between the inner and outer worlds. As you begin to embrace this truth, the barriers you once saw as external challenges start to reveal themselves as reflections of your own evolving consciousness. What once seemed like obstacles are now recognized as opportunities for growth. pushing you toward a deeper awareness of who you truly are. When you begin to grasp this truth, something profound happens. The incessant search for meaning outside yourself starts to fade. The feeling that something is missing, that you are incomplete, begins to dissolve. You realize that what you've been seeking has been present within you all along, your own divine nature expressing itself through this temporary human experience. The universe isn't something external to be conquered or understood. It is something that you are already deeply connected to, something that flows through you with every breath you take. By understanding the true nature of your connection to the universe, you are no longer bound by the illusions of separation. The realization that you are not apart from the universe, but a vital part of it, opens the door to a deeper, more expansive way of living. You are not simply an individual observing the world. You are the world, experiencing itself through your unique lens. As this truth sinks in, you begin to see that the universe is not a distant, unknowable force, but something that is intimately connected to every thought, belief, and action you take. Your mind and the world are not separate. They are part of the same cosmic dance. You are the observer, and as you awaken to your true nature, you begin to shape the universe in ways you never thought possible. So what does it mean for you, the chosen one, to awaken to your divine nature? It means transcending the limitations of the human mind. It means shedding the identity that the world has forced upon you and instead embracing the truth of who you are, a co-creator of your reality. As you begin questioning your current identity, as you start observing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations, something extraordinary will happen. You'll begin to notice that there is a part of you that remains unchanged amidst all the chaos. That is the observer within you, your higher self, the eternal witness. This part of you is God. It is timeless and boundless. It is the true essence of who you are. Your body, your thoughts, and your circumstances are not who you are. They are the temporary constructs of the human experience. You are a vast, multi-dimensional being of light, infinite in potential. You are the wave, and you are the ocean simultaneously. This shift in perception allows you to access your true power as a creator. Your thoughts shape reality. Your beliefs mold your world. Having recognized the futility of external validation, a profound question emerges. How do you actually access this divine nature that supposedly exists within you? The answer lies in a dimension of consciousness that most humans experience daily, but completely overlook, a realm where your cosmic heritage becomes unmistakable. Meditation serves as the primary gateway to this realization, but not in the diluted way it's marketed in the modern world. Beyond mere stress relief or productivity enhancement, authentic meditation is an ancient technology designed to dissolve the illusion of separation. When you close your eyes and observe the flow of your thoughts, something remarkable becomes apparent. There's an unchanging witness present behind all mental activity. This silent observer remains constant while thoughts, emotions, and sensations come and go. This awareness isn't just a function of your brain, it's your connection to the infinite. Try this simple but profound practice. Close your eyes and focus on the space between your thoughts. Notice how thoughts arise, exist briefly, and dissolve back into nothingness. The stillness between mental activity isn't empty. It's where your true power resides. In that gap lies your divine essence, the part of you that transcends physical form and connects directly to universal consciousness. With consistent practice, this space naturally expands, and the identification with your limited self begins to dissolve. Your ego will resist this process fiercely. It's programmed for survival and interprets any threat to its dominance as existential danger. As you turn inward, expect to encounter resistance in the form of sudden distractions, increased mental chatter, or even physical discomfort. These are protective mechanisms designed to pull you back into identification with your limited self. Understanding this dynamic allows you to observe the resistance without being deterred by it. Beyond basic meditation, advanced practices can further dissolve the boundaries of limited identity. Astral projection and lucid dreaming enable you to consciously separate your awareness from your physical body, providing a direct experience of your multidimensional nature. These aren't merely fascinating phenomena. They're practical tools for accessing universal knowledge and expanding your consciousness beyond physical limitations. The limiting beliefs maintaining your divine amnesia can be methodically rewritten through visualization. Think of your beliefs as lines of code in your mental programming. When you identify a belief that reinforces your limited identity, visualize it clearly. Then imagine deleting that line and replacing it with an empowering alternative. For example, transform "I am just one person with limited influence" into "I am an expression of universal consciousness with unlimited creative potential." This isn't mere positive thinking. It's the conscious reprogramming of your reality framework. Conscious co-creation represents another powerful dimension of reclaiming your divine nature. When setting intentions, do so from a place of abundance rather than lack. Visualize your desires as already manifested and feel the associated joy and gratitude. This aligns your consciousness with the universal flow, allowing the manifestation to occur naturally rather than through force or desperation. The difference between creating from your limited human identity versus your divine nature is profound. One struggles against perceived scarcity, while the other harmonizes with infinite potential. The practice of mindfulness throughout your day serves as a continuous reminder of your role as co-creator. By observing your thoughts and intentions, you'll recognize how your consciousness shapes your experiences and the world around you. This isn't abstract philosophy. It's practical awareness of your creative nature in action. To awaken fully, you must stop identifying with the limitations of the human body. Your true essence cannot be confined by physical reality. The first step is to begin identifying with the infinite space of consciousness. The moment you do this, you begin to transcend the challenges of the physical world. Every obstacle you face becomes an opportunity to remember your divine nature. When you view yourself as the vast consciousness that you are, beyond your physical body, you start to see yourself as the universe, experiencing itself through the lens of human life. The limitations of time, space, and form no longer control you. You begin to step into the realization that you are far greater than what you've ever been led to believe. While your divine nature requires no external validation, society has masterfully conditioned you to seek precisely that. What if the promotion, relationship, or possession you're chasing is actually preventing you from experiencing the very fulfillment you seek? Psychological research reveals a truth that will transform how you view every achievement you've ever pursued. From your earliest years, you've been programmed to chase external markers of success. The messaging surrounds you constantly. Get good grades, find the perfect partner, buy the bigger house, earn more money, and receive more likes. These external validations become the measuring stick for your worth, creating an identity entirely dependent on things outside yourself. This conditioning runs so deep that questioning it feels almost blasphemous in modern society. But here's what this external seeking actually creates: a perpetual cycle of temporary satisfaction followed by an inevitable return to emptiness. You achieve the goal, experience a brief high, and then find yourself hollow again, already scanning the horizon for the next target. This is the hedonic adaptation researchers have documented: the remarkable speed at which humans return to their baseline happiness levels after achieving external goals. The promotion, the new car, the relationship, each provides only momentary fulfillment before the emptiness returns. Social media has turbocharged this validation trap to unprecedented levels. The platforms weren't designed to connect you with your divine nature, but to keep you endlessly seeking approval through likes, comments, and shares. The research is clear and concerning. Individuals spending more than 3 hours daily on social media significantly increase their likelihood of developing mental health issues. Each notification triggers a dopamine hit, creating a biochemical dependency on external validation that pulls you further from your true essence. Consider how thoroughly these external achievements shape your identity. I'm a doctor. I'm someone's partner. I'm a homeowner. We define ourselves by our relationships, professional status, and possessions, false identities that obscure the divine essence beneath them. When these external identifiers are threatened, through job loss, relationship endings, or financial setbacks, we experience not just practical challenges, but existential crises. Who are you when the externals fall away? The research literature on happiness provides fascinating confirmation of this spiritual truth. Studies published in the Journal of Happiness Studies consistently show that individuals prioritizing intrinsic goals, personal growth, and meaningful relationships report significantly higher well-being than those chasing extrinsic rewards, like wealth and fame. The data clearly demonstrates that external achievements provide only temporary happiness spikes before returning to baseline. The harder you pursue external validation, the more hollow your achievements feel, a startling paradox of human experience. This pattern persists because your ego, the temporary human identity you've constructed, constantly seeks confirmation of its existence through external feedback. The ego requires continual reassurance because it knows at some level that it isn't your true identity. Meanwhile, your divine nature requires no such validation. As one psychology expert explains, external validation can never satisfy because what you're truly seeking is the remembrance of your divine nature, which can only be found within. This fundamental mismatch between what your ego seeks and what your soul requires creates the persistent dissatisfaction so many experience. The liberation from this cycle requires a radical perspective shift, recognizing that the source of fulfillment you've been seeking outside yourself has always existed within. This isn't some abstract spiritual concept, but a practical reality confirmed by both ancient wisdom and modern research on intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. When you begin looking in the correct direction, inward rather than outward, the endless seeking naturally subsides. Now the question is, how do you begin living as the divine creator you are? It starts with embracing your power. The universe responds to your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. When you align with your divine nature, you begin to co-create your life with the universe, shaping your experiences with intention. But let me clarify, this isn't about ego. It's about transcending the ego entirely. The ego is the illusion of separateness, the idea that you are isolated from the universe. But when you awaken to your divine nature, you realize that you are one with the universe. This understanding empowers you to act with compassion, wisdom, and love. You are a force of light in this world, and when you embrace this truth, you will naturally begin to heal and transform the world around you. Your light will guide others. Your journey will inspire others to step into their own divine power. As you practice recognizing your creative power, a startling possibility emerges about the nature of your suffering. The very challenges that have brought you to your knees may be the most sacred aspects of your journey. Cosmic classroom experiences meticulously arranged before your soul entered this human form, each difficulty perfectly calibrated to unlock specific aspects of your divine potential. Consider your life's narrative through the lens of what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey. This ancient framework reveals that every obstacle you've encountered wasn't random misfortune, but a deliberate plot point in your cosmic story. Those moments when you felt most broken, the heartbreaks, failures, losses, and disappointments, were actually precisely engineered catalysts designed to awaken you to your true nature. The common interpretation of challenges is that they're punishments or bad luck, random suffering inflicted upon you by an indifferent universe. This victim mentality keeps you trapped in resentment, asking, "Why me?" when difficulties arise. But what if there's a profound intelligence behind your suffering? What if each painful experience was actually a sacred invitation to remember your godhood? Ancient wisdom teaches us that suffering isn't meaningless torment, but a necessary component of spiritual evolution. The challenges that seem most unfair are often the exact experiences your soul most needed to encounter. That relationship that shattered your heart, it wasn't cosmic cruelty. It was precisely calibrated to heal ancestral wounds you carried for generations. The career setback that humbled you, it was designed to redirect you toward your authentic path when you had wandered too far from your soul's true purpose. In this cosmic curriculum, karma isn't punishment for past wrongdoing. Rather, it's a sophisticated spiritual technology, a perfectly orchestrated series of experiences crafted for your soul's evolution. Each difficult lesson appears at exactly the moment your consciousness is prepared to receive its wisdom. Nothing is wasted, nothing is random, and nothing is cruel. The universe is far too intelligent for such chaos. Your unique combination of challenges isn't accidental. They're precision-targeted to develop the specific aspects of consciousness you incarnated to master. Some souls come to learn compassion through suffering, others to develop wisdom through failure, and still others to cultivate strength through adversity. Your particular pattern of obstacles forms a sacred curriculum as unique as your fingerprint, a divine lesson plan you helped design before birth. The spiritual concept of soul contracts suggests that before incarnating, you agreed to specific challenges and teachers that would facilitate your growth. This means that on some level, your higher self chose the very difficulties you now face. The people who have hurt you most, the situations that broke you open. These were not random encounters, but sacred agreements made between souls to serve each other's evolution. When viewed through this lens, even your divine amnesia serves a higher purpose. The forgetting of your godhood creates the perfect conditions for remembering, just as darkness gives meaning to light. Without experiencing the illusion of separation, how could you truly appreciate the bliss of remembering your oneness with all that is? Your challenges create the necessary contrast that makes spiritual awakening meaningful. This reframing transforms every aspect of your existence from meaningless struggle to sacred purpose. The depression that once seemed like a curse becomes a doorway to deeper compassion. The anxiety that tormented you reveals itself as a heightened sensitivity to energy. Even your deepest trauma contains the seeds of your greatest gift to the world, if you're willing to see it through eyes unclouded by victimhood. When you begin to perceive your challenges as deliberate components of your cosmic evolution, you shift from resistance to reverence. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What is this teaching me about my divine nature?" This single perspective shift transforms suffering into sacred initiation, pain with a profound purpose. As the chosen ones, your awakening is not just for you. It is part of a collective transformation that is taking place on this planet. You are not just a drop in the ocean. You are the wave that shapes the ocean. Your journey, your awakening, ripples out, affecting everyone and everything around you. The universe is vast, but you are deeply connected to it. Every step you take towards awakening, every step you take towards reclaiming your divine nature, contributes to the collective shift in consciousness. This is not a solitary path. You are part of something much greater. As you rise, so does the world. The more you step into your power, the more others will be inspired to do the same. You are not just human. You are a divine being, experiencing life through human form. This understanding will change everything about how you live. When you realize that you are not separate from the universe, but a powerful part of it, you step into your role as a co-creator of your own reality. Every thought, every belief, every action is a reflection of the divine within you. It is time to embrace your power. Chosen one, the world is waiting for you. You are the divine light that will lead humanity into the new age. The time is now. You are no longer limited by the human form. You are a god, living a human life, and you are here to transform the world.